What's up guys? So in today's video, as the title says, 5 tips for finding a clean Nissan 240. I think a lot of people now is trying to get a 240. However, they are priced at around $6,000 to up to $12,000 for a stock 240 that is unmolested and clean. I think that finding a clean 240 is a very challenging nowadays. It's just because so many people wants them now. It's been a really challenging experience for a lot of people, but I just want to tell you guys that you can get a clean 240, but you have to follow these 5 different tips that I'm going to talk about it today. So let's get right in. The first tip that you should follow when you're finding a clean 240 is that you have to check CRAIGSLIST, Facebook Market, and OFFERUP. These 3 platforms will be a really great place to start looking for cars. The biggest tip for all 3 platforms is that you check every hour or even less than an hour. So you should have this as a habit to go on and check with a different keyword. For example, you search for 240sx, sometimes you search only for Nissan, sometimes you search for S13, S14, etc. So having to do that every, I would say, 30 minutes, you wouldn't miss out on a really great deal. I actually purchased my car, I would say, I think it was up for 9 minutes, and then I told them that I'm gonna buy it right now, and he told me there was already 8 people contacted them. So it's a very competitive market, so you have to be ready to go for it. And that's gonna be the second tip, is make sure you have the fund ready to go. So this is a very important factor, because when that one comes up, that's your only chance of getting it. So you have to make sure you have the fund ready to go. And like I said, there will be almost more than 10 people that's trying to get the car at the same time and trying to offer more money or trying to lowball more money. So understanding that when you do find it, you let them know, the guy, that you will pick it up right now, cash in hand, or you have to be ready to go check it out now, and you have to be ready to drop the money no matter how far it is. You have to be ready. So that's a really important factor, and it's just that, like, if that doesn't work for you, then I would pay that guy maybe a couple $100 to keep the car for them and to take it off from the post. So that's a really also good tip. I've done that for my first 240 I got. I didn't want anybody to take it, so I just gave them a couple $100 cash. So that's what I did. Number 3 is do not buy cars with a lot of modification. I understand that when you're buying a 240, you're trying to buy ones with modification just because it's more cost efficient and whatnot. Do not buy 240s with a lot of modification. Reason for saying is that 240s are very fragile car. When you work on it, you will understand, but a lot of things break really easily. Like I said, it's a 30-year car. A lot of things are on the edge of breaking. So understanding that with a lot of modification, sometimes they're not doing it correctly. And you don't want a car that's being done incorrectly. My recommendation is to buy a stock car. My last 2 240s I bought, they were both untouched. However, I think the first one, the guy took out the AC completely, and I literally just said that last two cars were stock. First of all, the first car was not stock completely. It had a drop spring. My first car was not completely stock, but it was really close to stock and it was really clean. And I bought it from somebody who was a S-chassis enthusiast, so he knew what he was doing. So anyway. My second car was completely stock and never done anything to it. I don't think the guy even knew how to do an oil change. But it was clean. Anyway, so I wouldn't buy any cars with modification. You have to not settle for less, okay? Like you have to only buy 240 that has no modification. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't even recommend 240s that has been swapped to a SR or a different motor because you don't even know what they did to it. You should only buy those cars with credible sources and the guy you're buying it from, those cars are really clean. The reason why I'm saying that is because I helped a friend get a SR swapped 240 and actually I had no idea what history of the car was, so it was a little crapped out and it was giving a lot of problems. So I think researching first about SR and knowing how they act or whatever, and talk to people who know about SR first and go with them to go check it out if you're planning to buy a SR swapped 240. That's all. Fourth tip is pretty important for people that lives out in the coast or just places that snows. Check for the rust. If you're from the coastal area, make sure you check almost every single part of the car. To be honest, I think rust will happen no matter what. Wherever you live, wherever you are, rust is just, you can't get away from it. It's always gonna rust. It's an old car, it's gonna rust. So it's not just coastal area, guys, it's everyone. Obviously, door jambs, trunk area, roof headliner, or around the window, just every corner possible that 240 exists, you have to check for the rust. It's kind of hard nowadays to find a 240 with no rust, but I would try to look for a 240 with no rust. I wouldn't buy a 240 if it has rust, to be honest. I mean, it's really hard, but you can't settle for less, So if it's like small and you can go get it fixed, that's fine. But if it's huge, I would just pass on, honestly. Yeah, rust is a big issue, so I had a friend who had to pay like $4,000 to fix the rust, but they couldn't even fix it because it was just too bad of its condition. So yeah, I wouldn't buy a 240 with a lot of rust. And check for the rust, of course. Every time you go look at it, you gotta check for the rust. If you have the money, you can do it. Someone like me don't have money, don't have a garage, or you don't have the resources, a job, whatever. It's kind of hard. You don't want to buy a car that is a little crapped out and you gotta have to go out of your way to fix it. But if you don't have the space and resources and people that can help you, it's kind of hard. So being realistically, if you don't have any of that, I wouldn't even try to buy a crapped out 240. That's all. Yeah. So the last tip is that you have to be patient. It's just the patience is the key. I mean, it might be same for every other car and trying to buy a car that you want. You have to be patient. Of course, there is no more 240sx brand new. Of course, you have to wait for the one to come up. I think that one of the bad reasons of buying a 240 is when you rush. Don't rush. If you rush and you buy like a crappy one, you're going to regret it in a long down the road. Like, don't buy a 240 that's crapped out. Like, and how long you have to be patient? For me, I have to check Craigslist and Facebook Market every day, every 15 minutes for 10 months straight until I got the car. Yeah, so that took me that long to find me a car. It's been a lot more harder now. People are just really trying to get it. And you know, I think there's people out there buying it and then flip it for a lot more. So you have to be careful with those people. Some of them, I think they just take out whatever they want from the car and transfer over it to another vehicle and putting back the crappier one. So it's like, it looks nice on the outside, but it's crappy on the inside. So you have to watch out on those. You have to know who is the seller. That'll be like an extra tip. Knowing the seller is really important sometimes. Just kind of get the feel of who the driver is and what kind of work they do. So, you know, that way you don't get ripped off or anything like that. I know 240s are very expensive now, especially the clean ones, but you will find it. You just have to discipline yourself, and it takes a long time to find one. And I believe that following these tips that I just showed to you guys could potentially get you a clean 240. I hope this video helped you for you to go on these platforms every day to look for a 240. That being said, thank you so much for watching. This is all my social media right here, and please subscribe my channel. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace out.